Welcome to this episode of the Conscious Business Coffee Break, where we take a few moments to explore what's happening in the conscious business movement, expand awareness, and encourage your efforts in conscious business. Greetings, everybody. I'm Stephen Donaco of the Conscious Business Enterprise Division of Humanities team. And today on our program, I'm going to be talking about conscious innovations in materials that we use every day. And the two items that I'll be posting in the comments to the video are, the first one is related to clothing and apparel and the use of an alternative material, and the other is related to food. So, but let me start by saying that with all the plastic pollution that we are suffering on this planet and its ripple effects on our ecological systems, we've seen business begin to respond. And from the food packaging standpoint, we're seeing more corn plastic out there. So in the form of food containers, beverage cups, and straws, a lot of those things are now made of corn plastic. Now, of course, there's a long way to go there. There's still a lot of regular synthetic plastics that are being used, but we are seeing more and more places use the corn plastic. And there's also now a movement going back to using paper straws, which is a sort of a back to future phenomenon because straws used to be made of paper. And I believe it's McDonald's in Europe is going to be implementing a paper straw initiative sometime soon if it hasn't already. And then the other solution is to repurpose waste plastic, whether it's from the ocean or from the trash. And those plastics are being used in making shoes, building materials, and clothing. So the great thing is that other plant-based alternatives to animal-based and plastic materials are being used in products that are available right now. So the most recent item that I'll link to in the comments is Hugo Boss, the men's or the clothing apparel company. And the headline is Hugo Boss steps up with cruelty-free fashion game with vegan shoe line made with pineapple leather. So, and pineapple leather certainly sounds novel. I had heard that there were leathers being made of things like mushrooms, for instance, but I hadn't heard of the pineapple angle on this yet. So the idea here is that there's a men's sneakers collection made from this material called Pinatex. And in the article, it says that this is a special leather alternative created from pineapple leaf fibers. With this range, Hugo Boss is responding to the growing demand for more cruelty-free, sustainable fashion. So a couple of key items that I want to pick out of there, just to emphasize, is one that this is Hugo Boss, which is a very visible brand. So we have a mainstream visible luxury brand now that is creating something using plant-based materials. So people are going to take notice. And then secondly, it speaks to the increase in consumer demand. So if there weren't if there wasn't a market for this kind of thing, for more plant-based, cruelty-free materials used in what we wear every day, what we use every day, if there wasn't the market for it, it would be slow to grow. And it has been up until now, but the fact that you have this big brand, Hugo Boss, using these plant-based materials for its products, it speaks to the consumer demand. There's a market for it. And the leaves that are used, these pineapple leaves used for this material called Pinatex, are a byproduct of existing agriculture. And their use creates additional income for farming communities. So here we have this cyclical aspect of this where the benefits are beyond the clothing industry and what you might call or might consider to be the typical traditional suppliers. And now we have agriculture and farmers benefiting from the use of this material. Now, the one suggestion I would make because this is a men's line of sneakers, offer the same thing in women's shoes, because there's no reason that these materials shouldn't or couldn't be used in making women's clothing. And I would expect that that's probably on their radar, and hopefully in development. But it'd be great to see the women's shoes line made of the same materials. And all of this, supports conscious business declaration principle number 2, which is the purpose of business is to increase economic prosperity while contributing to a healthy environment and improving human well-being. And I would add to that, this is my own note, but I would add to that we're even improving, it's even better when we're improving the well-being of all sentient beings. And the fact this is a vegan material and takes animal products out of the equation makes it even better. So then the next item that I'll post is a piece called "This Indonesian Company Wants to Replace Plastic with Edible Seaweed Packaging." So the basis here is that Indonesia is the world's second worst offender in terms of dumping plastic into the sea. But it's also the largest producer in the world of seaweed. Now, seaweed farming is a big industry in Indonesia, but the size of that industry has not translated to great economic conditions for the farmers themselves. So many of the producers of seaweed in Indonesia actually live in poverty. So a company called Evoware has seen opportunity in that and has developed a solution that can contribute to solving the plastic issue, the plastic pollution issue, and the issue of impoverished seaweed farmers. So what it's done is it's created this food packaging from seaweed material. And there are 2 varieties of the product. One is biodegradable, and it's designed for use with non-food products. So unlike plastic, consumers don't need to worry about where this material ends up after they use it. You could simply throw it out. So this is something that can be used to package like bars of soap. It's seaweed. You unwrap whatever it is you buy, whether it's a bar of soap or something else, and then you can simply throw it out without worrying about whether it's recyclable or whether it's going to get into the water stream and pollute the ocean. Because even if it gets into the water stream, it's actually going to biodegrade on its way there. And then the other variety of this product is used for edible products, for food products, and it dissolves in warm water, and it's completely edible even in its non-dissolved state. So, and because the packaging is made of seaweed, it's nutritious, contains high fiber, vitamins, and minerals. And in this particular form made by Evoware, the company claims that it's nearly tasteless and odorless. So rather than, for example, pouring the contents of the little seasoning packet that you might get with your ramen noodles, rather than just throwing that little bag away, it's often made of foil and or plastic. If it's made of this seaweed material, you simply just throw the whole bag into your ramen noodles and it will dissolve. If you buy a sandwich wrapped in this material, you can either take the material off and discard it and not worry about it polluting anything, it's biodegradable, or you can simply just bite right through it and eat the packaging and the sandwich. So what I want to recognize here with Evoware is that it's an Indonesian company. So these are issues that in Indonesia are recognized as problems, and this company that's solving them and helping to create a better environment and better economic conditions for workers is an Indonesian company. So what I want to recognize here is that often those who are closest and most impacted by a problem are motivated, inspired, and will develop the best solution for it. So this is not being solved by some other faceless corporation halfway around the world. This is actually a company in the place where the problem exists. And to me, this supports conscious business declaration principle number 3, which is business must go beyond sustainability and the philosophy of do no harm to restoring the self-renewing integrity of the earth. So there you have it today, today's Conscious Business Coffee Break. I will put the links to these articles in the comments to the video, so feel free to take a look at them at your leisure. And then we'll see you again on Friday, 9 a.m. U.S. Central Time for another edition of the Conscious Business Coffee Break. Have a great day, everyone.